Well, hello my lovelies and welcome back to my channel. I am just going to try to light this sage incense cone. Oh yeah, she smells good. This is going to cleanse our area for us. There we go. Lovely. Alright, so I'm just going to stick this in the corner. You might see it waft in front of the camera, but that is just fine. So if this is your first time at my channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. That way you can keep up to date with all of my tarot readings and meditations. So for today, we're going to be doing a pick a card style tarot reading. So I have 3 different decks here. And the question we're going to be asking today is about finances. Now, wealth and finances and things is a common question when you're doing tarot readings or getting a tarot reading done. So I know that everybody is in high stress mode right now because people are being sent home, laid off, going home without any pay. So I know it's a high subject on people's minds right now. So whether you're directly affected by the employment status of people right now in the current situation or not, you can still kind of get a reading out of this. So the way this kind of works, if you haven't done one before, is you pick a deck. I'm going to go through each deck and pull a 3-card draw, and that'll give you your reading. I'm also going to do some witch crystal reading at the end, and that'll be just a general reading based on the crystal that you pick. So to divide up these decks, we got deck 1. This is our spirit guide deck. We have deck 2. This is my Wicca deck. And deck 3, this is my from above deck. So this deck is more geared towards receiving messages from above and from the spirit world. So go ahead, take a minute, look at those decks and make your choice. Don't think about it too hard. Whichever one kind of pops out at you first. Alright, so we're going to start with deck 1. This is going to be our spirit guide deck. Okay, so our first card is the Condor. And this is an oracle card, so I'll just read it out to you. You're too enmeshed in the situation, so step back and see the bigger picture before making any decisions or taking action. So I think this is going to be for our people who are being personally affected by the situation. Either you've been sent home without pay, or have been laid off, or maybe your spouse or a family member in your household has been personally affected, and this will personally affect you. So it's high emotion. There's high emotion attached to the situation, and you need to take a moment to step back and look at the whole situation as a whole. Is this a situation that's going to last forever? Is this a situation that's going to affect you in the long term, or is this a short-term problem? And just taking a moment to remember exactly what your situation entails will help you better cut down the emotion and make a more informed and more reasonable decision moving forward. Next card is the Octopus. This one reads, practice shape-shifting by altering your physical appearance and mannerisms. So I think this plays into this card as you need to, again, reevaluate your actions, right? Are you acting out of high emotion because of what's going on and how you're being affected, or are you acting out of rational thought or rational planning? So you may have to shapeshift and change what you're doing, reevaluate what you're doing. Maybe the way you're acting in the situation right now is based off high emotion, and it may be how you've acted in the past, right? You're acting on what you know, what you've done in the past, but maybe that didn't always work in the past, or maybe it's not going to work for this current situation. So you may have to shapeshift, and you may have to change how you're presenting to the situation, or changing how you're responding to the situation. Last card for this deck is the Penguin, and this one reads, the period of darkness that you've been experiencing is now passing. So these play in together. Reevaluate your emotions, reevaluate the current situation, how bad is it really, and then reevaluate how you are acting on those emotions. How are you, what are those actions that you're doing, either trying to prevent the situation or trying to rectify the situation? You may have to relook at what you're doing, but keeping in mind that that darkness will pass. And I also feel for these people that you're going to be overthinking, and then you're going to go, okay, this is not working. I need to change something up, or something will, you know, you'll get an idea, or something will hit you of, oh, hey, we can do this, or I can try that. Before you know it, it's going to be over. And I feel like you're going to have that kind of relief of looking back and going, okay, we definitely overreacted, or I was stressing over nothing kind of feeling. So if you're in this stage right now, reevaluate what's going on and try a new tactic. If you're in this stage where you're thinking about doing it a different way, or you're not sure if you should do it this way or that way, make a decision. You'll know which way you need to go. It may be scary, it may be a little unfamiliar, but before you know it, it's going to be over. Okay, so that is our reading from deck 1. Okay, now moving on to the second deck. This is my Wicca deck. Okay, first card, we've got the Two of Pentacles. Now, I feel like these people are in balance. Judging by the infinity sign, that's what I'm kind of getting from that, is these people are in balance. So maybe your situation is you're not being directly affected by the situation financially. So I feel like you're kind of in this limbo of contentment. You know, your employment's not being affected, or your family's employment is not being affected, or finances. So you're kind of not really worried at the moment. Second one is the Three of Pentacles. And I'm getting from this one that there might be some I feel like there might be some creativity happening. And what I feel from that, or what I mean by that, is even though you're kind of in this limbo of contentment, because of the situation that's around you, and you're kind of sympathizing with people that you know, or seeing on the news and things like that, even though you're not being directly affected, it's still you're reevaluating your own employment. You're reevaluating what you're doing in your job, or maybe your job has slightly changed and you're having to rethink the idea of what you do in your job, or how you're contributing, or how you are structured in your employment. So I feel like there's some creativity. There's no stress attached to these. Like, I don't feel stressed. Whereas in the other reading, I was very stressed. But I don't feel stressed with these. So there's creativity coming, but it's not due to a stress response. It's just more of a reevaluation kind of response. And lastly, we have the Emperor. And the Emperor here is pretty handsome, but he is sitting on his throne. He's taking control of his kingdom. And this could be in a response to changing up what you're doing in your employment. Maybe you're working from home, for example, and you're having to change up how you are doing your job. Or maybe your schedule has changed, or you're remanaging how you do your work. And in a response, you're going to feel more empowered. You're going to feel more in control of your financial situation, your employment situation. I don't feel any drastic changes. So I feel like the people who are picking this deck they're happy where they are. They're happy with their employment. They're not looking for any drastic changes, or expecting any drastic changes, or anything like that. So these people are going to be in control of their kingdom. They're going to be feeling very content and in control. And yeah, so whoever's picking this deck, good on ya. Yeah, you're very content with your job. I feel like these are the people that are going to be working from home, or their job has changed, but not in a way that it's overly stressful, or that they're finances are going to be changed. But you're going to be quite in control, and you're going to be happy with what comes out. So when everything kind of goes back to normal, there might be some changes that has happened that will carry on, and you'll feel very much in control of that, and you'll be content with those changes. All right, so that's the end of deck 2 reading. Moving on to the third deck, and this is the From Above deck. Okay, first card is we have water. So usually when I see a water card or something related to water coming from a spiritual card, I feel like there is cleansing happening or fluidity happening. Now this may be a change that I don't feel stress in this card. So I feel like it's not something that is stressing you out. It's not something that is challenging. It's a change that you're welcoming. It's a change that you wanted. It's a change that maybe you were expecting before all of this kind of happened. And there's a cleansing happening. Maybe you are inadvertently being put out of a situation that you've been meaning to and didn't have the courage to, or didn't think you were in a situation that you were able to. And now it's kind of you're being put in, you're being pushed out of that situation, and you're kind of like, thank God, you're like, oh no, please don't, and I feel like there's cleansing happening with your spirit. So that could be through a change that is not, there's no stress related to that. Second card, we have fire. So we're getting some big heavy hitter cards here. So fire is our passion, right? And so because this change, and these definitely can go hand in hand, where change is happening and cleansing is happening, and then our passion is coming out in full force, right? It's being reignited. This is a fire that's being reignited. And maybe it's a passion for, maybe it's a re-envisioned passion. So maybe your passion is being ignited for something that you're already doing, or it could be a passion being ignited for something that you've wanted to do or wanted to try or is meaning to do, and now you're going to do it. The passion is very, very fiery. It's very hot. It's burning bright, and you're going to be going for it. You're going to grab onto that passion and go, yeah, I'm going for it. Let's go balls to the wall. Let's do it. And lastly, we have the Summerland. And this is really interesting because I feel like I'm getting a very young energy. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be young for this reading. There's a young energy coming, and it's definitely hand in hand with this passion. It's making you feel young. It's making you feel energized. It feels like you can do anything you want, like a kid, right? Like somebody who's young coming newly into the workforce. You can do anything you want. You can, if you want it, you can get it. And that's definitely the energy that I'm getting from this card, is you're having that young energy that is going to drive you. And it's not that you are being driven by force, you're being driven by your passion. And that energy is going to definitely bring you forward and bring you into where you need to go. So as far as related to the current situation, change and cleansing is happening, and it's kind of like a silver lining of, well, it's, you have that feeling of, well, it kind of sucks that it happened because of this, but I'm really glad it happened. And you're going to come out on the other end doing what you want to do, and you're going to be passionate about it, and you're going to be reinvigorated. That's the word I'm trying to get, is reinvigorated. So it may be a change in your current employment or what you currently do, and refinding that passion and being reinvigorated and going full force into the situation moving forward. Or it could be a complete change. It could be something completely different that you've always wanted to do, that you've always wanted to try. you're gonna envelop that passion that you've had for it, and you're gonna go full force. So whoever is going into this deck, whoever is doing these changes, I am jealous of you, because you're gonna have some fun moving forward. You're gonna have some very fun times coming up. Okay, so I'm going to set up my witch crystal board, and I just need to set it down with some of my stones, because where it's in the box it kind of is a little bendy. And these are the crystals that we're going to be using. Alright, so before I get into these crystals, full disclosure, I am not a crystal lady, okay? I use them for what I need them for, and that's really it. So I may butcher the names of these. I may kind of describe them like their personal property. I might describe a little bit off of what traditionally you may have heard. That being said, in my experience, different areas consider these stones have different properties anyway. So yeah, take that as you may. But I'm going to go through the stones, what they are, what they kind of gravitate towards, and then we're going to pick which one you want if you've not already picked already. So the first one that we're going to be talking about or showing is blue agate. So this contributes to air and swords and your truth and integrity of your heart. So if that description draws you to this stone, or you're just drawn to it already, then this is going to be the stone you may pick. Next we have green aventurine, and this one is connected to the heart chakra. So this is going to be more connected to your heart in total, and it may also, and because it's connected to the heart chakra, this is also your kind of psychic protection. So that is that one. Next is your red jasper. This is associated with your base chakra. And this one is going to be more associated with your body. So yes, there's going to be spiritual components to it, but this is more of a body stone. Next is our rose quartz. This is many people's favorites, but this may not necessarily be the one you're gravitated towards. This is our love and serenity stone, and this is what it's going to be representing. And lastly, we have our white onyx. This is our happiness and fortune. This is also the energy that will contribute to your spirit. So that may be something that you're looking for. So these are the stones that are going to be in the reading. So pick whichever stone you want to follow, and we will go from there. I apologize if you hear my dog in the background. She was sleeping when I started. So we're going to work our way from the center outwards. And basically what this is kind of representing from the inside to the outside is it's going to be our internalized versus our externalized. So the things that are closer to the center are going to be more of our subconscious stuff. It may be things that spirit is trying to tell you, but you're not listening. And moving into our external, these are things that you may have already realized but have not acted upon, or this is when your inkling is kind of like, I know, like I have an idea, I know I need to do this, I know I should do this, but you're just not acting on it. And this is spirit going, hey, knock, knock, knock. Remember, I've been trying to tell you this or show you this. You need to do it. So moving from the center outward, we're going to start with our green one. I'm sorry, I already forgot the name. Our green one landed in the Astara section. And this is our spring representation. So this is looking at new growth, rebirth, and changes that we need to make. So because this is very close to the center, it's basically on the center, this means that it's an internalized change. So this means there's something off with your balance. And this can be a balance in your life, balance in your relationships, balance in your financial situation, your work. since we're covering finance stuff. So there's some kind of balance that's off, and it's very internalized. So it's something that you may not realize. Okay, so it may be something that you have an inkling about, but you don't really know exactly what to do about it. That's where I'm going with this. You don't know exactly what to do about it, and that's okay. You might not know how to do it right now, but just realizing and putting attention to the fact that you have an imbalance will bring your consciousness towards it, and you will start getting those messages, and you will start realizing what is causing that imbalance and what you need to change to get that balance back. Okay, and because this is in your heartstone, then there's something, it's affecting your heart. It's not that, you know, there's a balance off, so, you know, things aren't going your way, or there's, you know, somebody is pissing you off or whatever. This is something that's affecting your heart. So this is a balance that people can't see externally. This is a imbalance that's happening internally. Okay, so you need to put some attention to that, and moving forward, this is not going to be a quick fix. So moving forward, you need to put attention to it and start thinking about how can you change that imbalance in your heart. So next we're going to be looking at the red jasper. Haha, I remembered that one. And this landed in the Mabon or Mabon, depending on who's speaking it. And this is our autumn equinox, essentially. So this one also is very close to the center. It's not on the center. So I feel like it's still quite internalized, but you know it's there. You know there's a problem there, but you're just kind of ignoring it. So this stone here is telling us that there's some kind of change that needs to happen, but it's going to be a change based off of your actions. So I feel like there's a choice that you need to make, and you need to weigh out your consequences. And this might be why you're kind of hesitating on the decision, because you're trying to weigh pros versus cons. Is the consequences worth the benefit? And things like that. So I feel like you're right in the middle, and that might be why it's sitting on a line as well, is that you're sitting right in the middle. You're not really sure which way to go. And I feel like there's a consequence aspect to that you're not sure if the consequences are worth the benefit. So that's something that you've been kind of ignoring because you don't want to make that decision, but you need to give it attention. You need to make that decision, because whichever way you're going to go, you need to go, right? And yes, you may have some consequences, and those are going to happen inevitably, I feel, and that's just the way it is. But you need to base your decision on your pros. If the pro is what you want and that's what your heart is guiding you towards, and you're grounding, so I feel like that's something that you need. You need our root chakra, and our grounding is integral to survival, essentially. So if it's something you need for your root chakra to keep you grounded, to make you feel stable, then you need to go in that direction. Next, we're going to be moving into our rose quartz, and this is also in Mabon, or our autumn equinox. This one is quite out to the outside. So now we're getting into our people that are getting into consciousness. This stuff is in your front consciousness. You know it's a problem. You know it's something you need to deal with. Maybe you're already trying to deal with it, but you're not really sure if you're doing it the right way. But we'll go into that. So I feel like these people they're also in the Mabon, they're also in this decision mode, right? Looking at the consequences, trying to decide where they're going. But I feel like these people know what they want to do, but they're too scared to do it because of those consequences. They may happen, they may not happen, but I feel like it's going to be a point of survival, right? And this is going to be, and this is our love stone. And even when I was showing you guys the stones, I was thinking, yeah, this is not love from another person or loving another person. This is our self-love. This is self-love that you need to work on. So I feel like whatever decision you're going in, I feel like there's anger. There's going to be anger coming towards you because of that decision, but you need it for self-love. You need it for yourself. So I feel like you already know what you want to do, but you just haven't made the leap, or you're still a little apprehensive about it. But I feel like these people they know what they need to do. They know they need it for themselves, and they're going to feel so much better after they do it. Yes, there's going to be some anger set towards you. Yes, there's going to be some short-term consequences that are going to be uncomfortable, but you're going to feel so much better after, and you're going to love yourself and be proud of yourself for doing that situation. And that came out so clear. So that was like strong ass message, I'm telling you. I didn't have to work for that at all. So my rose quartz girls, I feel it. I feel it in your heart that you are here just longing for it, and you need to just do it. You just need to, you know, as they say, pull up your big girl panties, grin and bear the short term, and you're gonna come out so comfortable. I just have, like, thinking of the after effect, I'm just so calm. I just feel like so relaxed. I feel like I just had a massage. I'm so relaxed. Like, you're just gonna feel so awesome after. So our next one is our white onyx. I apologize again. I'm gonna look this one up because I feel like it's just crazy. Oh, it is white onyx. I am right. Okay, so our white onyx, this falls in our Litha, or this is our summer equinox, which is awesome. Everyone loves summer equinox. It's our favorite holiday of the year, next to Samhain, of course. So for our white equinox people, this is also in consciousness, that this is something that you, again, you know it's something that you need to do. Maybe you're just been apprehensive for one reason or of another, and you just need to take the leap. So for our white equinox people, this is a time of fruitfulness, right? Our summer equinox, we're full of fruit. The harvest is good. It's nice and warm and hot. Everything you've been working for during the winter and spring, and, you know, trying to sow your crops and all that kind of representation. It is time to sit back, relax, and enjoy life. So I feel like these people they're aware of that. They're conscious of how blessed they are, how good they are, how good they have it right now. And I feel like the apprehension part is it okay for me to feel okay? And one of my favorite things that I like to tell people that I do readings with and things like that is, it's okay to be okay, right? If you're happy and you're content with your life, and yes, people around you are not going to be in that situation. Maybe your spouse or people that are very close to you are not in that situation. But it's okay for you to be okay. It's okay to be content in the moment. It's okay to be, hey, take a step back. I worked hard to be here. I can take a moment to take a breath and enjoy where I am and enjoy what I have in my life right now. So that's my message for these guys, is just, it's okay to be okay. It's okay to step back. It's okay to live in the moment right now and take a break and just enjoy what you've created. So the situation that these people are in is what the situation usually everybody wants to be in. So if you're in this situation, enjoy it, revel in it. It may not last forever, and that's okay. Just revel in the moment now. All right, and lastly, all the way down here, we have our blue agate, and it is off the board. But it did follow pretty straight. If I remember correctly, it followed pretty straight right down the Astara line here. So our blue agate, guys. Okay, so I am being drawn towards the blue as in the throat chakra. And what that is telling me is you need to speak up. And because you're way off the board, you know very freaking well that you need to, but you're apprehensive for whatever reason. Or you've already started, because you're so far off, you may have already started to do that, trying to speak up for yourself when you need to, speak out ideas, speak out what you need, what you want, and just, I feel like there's frustration behind it. Not necessarily anger, but frustration of, this is what I need, you're not listening, this is what I want to do, things of those nature. And you may have already started doing this, but you need to just keep doing it, and the balance will come. Because I feel like, as most women and most people think, when we're, you know, voicing our concerns, voicing our thoughts, blah, 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 a lot, we're being naggy, right? We're being naggy, we're being a pain in the butt, blah, blah, blah. So you kind of think, like, should I speak out? Should I rein it back in? Like, you know, would I be better at relaying my message if I do it a different way? And no. For you, no. You need to do it. So if you are doing it already, you need to continue to do it. If you haven't already, but you know very well that you need to, you need to do it. You need to just do it. And that balance will come eventually. And it might be a situation of, you need to wear them down a little bit for them to start relaying back. And then this could be anyone, right? This could be a relationship, it could be in a workplace environment, like a collaborative environment, but you need to just move on. You need to move forward, and it will happen. The balance will happen. Don't let up. And I feel like that's the biggest message for these guys is, yes, you may have those apprehensions and like, well, should I rein it in or whatever? No, you need to just move forward and keep moving forward, and the balance will come. Trust me, it will. And that's the biggest thing I'm just getting. You need to speak, you need to speak, you need to speak. That's just all, I'm just getting that like over and over and over. It's, you need to speak, you need to speak, you need to speak. So I feel like these guys are just, they're choked, right? Their throat chakra is closed up. It's angry. You need to let it out. You need to just let it out. And this may also be a situation where maybe it's just you need to talk to someone, like a therapist or a friend, or like something in a therapeutic rant kind of mode where you just need to get it out. And that's okay. It'll be so therapeutic, and the balance will come in the end. All right. Okay, so those are our crystal readings, our tarot card readings. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you took something out of it. Finances come and go, guys. It's just the way of the world. It's the way of life. The current situation and things that are affecting us will pass, and it's going to pass sooner than we think it is. There's a lot of high emotion right now, but it's not going to last as long as we think, or that we worry that it's going to be. We're all going to be okay in the end. It's all going to work out. But just think of what I've talked about in the readings, where whatever deck you chose or whatever crystal you chose, put them together. Maybe one was talking about one aspect, one was talking about another aspect, and that's okay. Maybe they're just different aspects of your life that they're trying to push you towards, and that's okay. Well, all right, guys, if you enjoyed this reading and you'd like to be caught up with my other tarot readings and maybe some of my meditations, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you'll know right away. And all right, see you guys later. Love ya. Bye.